Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your June 2016 love reading. It's Raina here. So I'm a Sag and I forgot about our sign. How could I do something like that? So I'm shuffling the cards. See? I just have to do it off camera because I finally got a semi-decent angle here, so I'm not messing with it. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Yeah, even looking at this angle now, this isn't like, it's too much on the surface. I am getting so many Swords cards, and I keep like shuffling even as I keep dealing these, or dealing them, like this is poker. Whoa. Wow, this is really dramatic. Now, I can't figure out why I always have these strange angles. It's either too low or too high, so. Oh well, the quest for the perfect angle continues, so I'll just pull up the card as it comes along and explain the position. The overall energy is this defensive posture of the Seven of Wands, and I've been getting these cards over and over again, so even in private readings. So people are really fighting for their dignity, it seems like to me, for some reason. In your case, it's all about boundaries. Do you have any? Do you have an insult level? And in general, you teach people how to treat you. And as Sagittarians, we are immutable signs, so we are very flexible. We tend to be cooperative towards other people's requests. We don't try to kind of power play people. And some people take advantage of that, just like people take advantage of generosity. So it's all about balance, obviously. And another thing I want to say too is remember that you're not just your sun sign. This is why in private readings, it may look one way based on the sun sign, but then when you get into the nitty-gritty, and you see the rest of the personal planets, you see the houses that the personal planets are in, it tells more of a story. You see the aspects between the planets, and it tells you what's actually going on. And sometimes these are recurrent patterns. They could be karmic patterns. In other words, they have followed you from lifetime to lifetime. And when you get into cycles where you're always on the defensive, that is a clue to you that the people that you are attracting into your reality are not giving you the respect that you deserve. Unless, of course, you have a chip on your shoulder, and that's always a possibility. So I'm not going to say 100% of the time that this is correct, but it's correct enough of the time to warrant people really being careful about who they choose to bring into their lives on that level. Because if somebody gets under your skin, or I should say gets into your head, that can lead you to really doubt yourself. And some of these abusive types, they really do try to convince you that you are in the wrong and that it's all about you. I think I just did this for Leo, and I think I got some similar energy. So it might be a fire sign deal. I'm not sure. The recent past, I got the Nine of Wands. Remember that the wands relate to fire energy. So it is that passion. With the nines, it represents you kind of having to keep on guard. It could be somebody that comes back into the picture to, try to play you again, or try to start things up again. And depending upon what you have been through with this person, you may decide, I'm not going there. But it's always kind of a temptation, because depending on how, what's the word, like, I was going to say fantasy laden you are. And I'm talking about believing in your version of reality when it may be more wishful thinking than anything else. You may, in the back of your mind, say, well, maybe this time it will be different. I will say that if you are single and watching this, that it could simply mean that you are in a situation where maybe you have been putting up a lot of defenses because you've been betrayed. And this is impacting the ability to meet somebody new. Because in the higher perspective, I also get the Ten of Swords. The swords relate to air signs, but they relate to conflict. They relate to thoughts that can be combative. But any kind of communication can be connected to the Swords cards. But the 10 means that the cycle has ended. And it means that you're hitting bottom. And so because I get 3 very kind of dramatic and, what's the other word I would use? I was going to say militaristic, but maybe combative. It's not really combative, or it's just like a defense mechanism that's kicking in. Coupled with the Ten of Swords, I feel like this particular general reading is directed towards those of you who have these wounds rather fresh. Now, the other possibility is that the Ten of Swords represents a betrayal that happened long ago, and it just has never been healed, and so you get these constant situations of defending yourself against impending doom. And then your fortress is so high that it's very difficult to for the other person to penetrate it. And this leads to the relationship not going anywhere. The influence that is crossing you at the time, or maybe beneath the surface, I don't think it has to necessarily be a negative energy. For some people, it may not be the most positive, and so it would be the King of Cups in reverse. That would be a manipulative man in the picture, and maybe it's connected to these first 2 cards. Maybe this is the person in question, and he could actually literally be a water sign, which would be a Cancer individual, or a Scorpio, or a Pisces, or he may have some of those signs in his inner planets, and it affects his personality, or his rising sign, which is something that is easily kind of felt by you. And in that sense, I do read it as a reverse card if it's crossing you. And it could be somebody who is very manipulative, who knows your weaknesses and knows how to kind of tap into them in order to get you what he wants to get you to do. And he also is somebody who may not be very compassionate himself. He may actually have a very cold inner core, and it almost stuns you about how cold he can turn. Maybe he blows hot and cold, and maybe he sometimes is very caring, and then all of a sudden you get him on the wrong day and he's really scarily cold. And that might be the person that's kind of freaking you out, in the sense that you don't know whether you're coming or going. And that may be why you are so much in the defense posture. For single people, this could mean that there is a water sign individual who is either a friend, or maybe somebody who is admiring you from afar, and maybe wants to ask you out, but is shy, water sign individuals, if this is literally somebody with a sun sign or a rising sign as a water sign, he might be rather timid. They're very sensitive, so they're very sensitive to rejection. But as a king, I feel like he's more in control of his emotions. So he may not be so insecure that way, but he still may be very sensitive. And he may be, it may not be that he's afraid of getting hurt, but he may be afraid that you're already taken or that you're going to take it in the wrong way. Sometimes kings can relate to bosses. So this could be, or somebody who's in a position of authority over you, or maybe it's not your direct boss, but maybe it's someone in your company or organization that is in a position of authority that you are friendly with, but you have no idea that he's harboring these feelings towards you. The energy that is good that is around you right now is the Six of Swords. So this is the energy of trying to go towards that which is harmonious. And it can actually mean that some of you have been debating whether or not to move, and this may be a great time to do so. I obviously do not take general readings as your instruction to do something that radical. I think that it's common sense that you would use a lot of different ways of determining whether or not moving for you is a good idea. But this is, I think it also shows that you are really getting away from the drama that the current situation suggests, and that you're done, you know what I mean? And, because it's a swords card, it does indicate detachment. So maybe with this fiery energy of the wands, you have been more emotional lately, and now you're to the point where it doesn't even matter anymore. And by the way, I don't always think that the top three cards indicate that all of you are currently embroiled in a relationship. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking that a lot of the people that may resonate with this are people who are in between relationships, but you really are kind of fed up because you may have had so many bad experiences that you don't know exactly what to do. And you may feel like it's a hopeless cause. Well, no, it's not. I think for Sagittarians, and because most of my viewers are women, but hello to all the males out there. I love to find out that males are watching, and I love to have male clients as well. But for women, who make up the bulk of my viewers and clients, you are, as Sagittarian women, and if you are interested in men, it is, very much the case that as a masculine sign, you tend to be one of the boys. You tend to be, you can look very feminine and still be one of the boys. And you can be very active in the world, very assertive, and you might take the initiative sometimes if you see a guy that you like and you just go after him. But just remember that sometimes it's really helpful to kind of be in that passive kind of mode where you can allow things to happen to you. And I don't mean, I shouldn't say that. But because of this, energy that you have, I feel like it's even more imperative that you choose wisely, because it may be very difficult for you to fit in with the average, typical, traditional relationship. And so I feel like it's always best to get to know somebody slowly instead of jumping into things. And as fire signs, we are very enthusiastic. We really love to just throw our hearts into whatever we're doing, and that's wonderful. But detachment never hurt anybody either. And with the Six of Swords, it's really about making that choice for peace. I choose peace. You can do whatever you want, but I choose peace. And that becomes your mantra. And as I say, it can actually relate to physically upping and moving because, in our solar charts, we have Neptune in the 4th house. So there's a lot of kind of unclear situations regarding and you may do this because you have a commitment to your own peace of mind, and that's wonderful. The advice is the Queen of Swords, another swords energy. And the Queen of Swords is that feminine principle coupled with the outer masculine energy that the swords represent. So it is really like combining your feeling self, but making your feelings and I look at this card as almost being an alchemist, where you take your strong emotions that you have been feeling lately and they become transmuted into that feminine energy. And I take the Queen of Swords to being somewhat of an alchemist, with the female energy of the emotions and the masculine of the rational mind. It's like you taking those very unruly emotions and crystallizing them into rational thought that allows you to make very good decisions, very balanced decisions. For those of you who are single, this may just mean that you have become less driven by your emotions and more logical, cool, and calm and collected. The outcome is the Two of Cups, and you can see as a 2 that this means that there is some relationship involved here, but it could be a reconciliation with somebody. That is possible. Maybe you were with somebody else, and this Wands activity at the beginning of the reading is an affair that came about possibly because of a betrayal, or maybe it's the Ten of Wands indicates that maybe you betrayed somebody. I mean, I never even thought of it like that. Maybe that's why it's the higher message, and maybe it's showing that, you did this to somebody else and now you're on the defensive. And, we see that a lot with people who cheat, think about celebrities. And the woman gets accused of being a homewrecker, and which always happens. The woman is the one, even if she's not the one who is married to the person that's being cheated on, the other woman gets accused of being the homewrecker, and then she ends up getting cheated on as well. And she's shocked that the person who was unfaithful to his wife would cheat on her too. She thought she was special. So maybe you did that, and maybe you're getting back together with, let's say it was a marital partner, and you realized it wasn't where it was at. Or the same thing happens with your spouse. Maybe they go through that and they realize after they have betrayed you, that it wasn't worth, breaking up the marriage. It's very interesting. I think that all's well that ends well. And I hope you enjoyed this, Sagittarius. If you would like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a wonderful June. Bye.